everyone, it's Melody with Design by Melody here. I was just sitting here cleaning my craft room and eating some gelato. This is amaretto cherry. It's delicious. And I was looking at the things that I had out in my room, and I've had these paper tray ink stamps and dies out for quite a while because I've been using them quite frequently. And I thought, you know what? Let me just do a quick demo of how I use these because I absolutely love them. I've thought about, I'm going to be doing a 1,000 subscriber giveaway. I'm at 610 I think right now, so I still have a good ways to go, but I was thinking about giving a set of one stamp set and a die away as one of my giveaways. I thought about doing 2 giveaways. I don't know, we'll see, but tell me if you guys like these. I will definitely do this in a giveaway. Just let me know. So let me show you what I've done. These are how I store them. I have them in little baggies labeled. I have multiple sets here. I have the Puma Stone Distress Ink, Color Box Banana, and this is part of the Stephanie Bernard from Stamps of Life, I believe, company. Stampin' Up! Wild Wasabi, Memories Dye Ink Blue, Stampin' Up! Rose Red, and Stampin' Up! Marina Mist. So I keep them in these little packs, and I put them in my alphabet bin, and this is how I use them. They're great, they're little, they're tiny, and they're perfect, and I already have the adhesive on them. So all I have to do is snip it off, peel off the backing, and they're good to go. My own little tile letters. So let me show you what you need. I'm going to make some with my Memento Tuxedo Black ink. I already have my bag labeled here, and I'm going to show you exactly how I do this, and I usually make anywhere from 5 to 10 sets at the same time just because it's easier. I have my Cuttlebug, I have my Brother sticker maker, of course I have my stamps and my die, I have my ink, and I actually have a refill, sorry, a re-inker because I'm going to make this a little bit darker. I have paper strips that are cut at 1 1/8 of an inch, and that's just off of 8.5 by 11 inch paper, so it's 1 1/8 of an inch by like 8.5, but it really only needs to be long enough to cover this, so maybe 5 inches. Stampin' block, my plates, and I don't have another plate. I'm missing the correct plate, so I just have some cardstock that I use kind of as a shim, I believe that's what you say. So I have that here, real fancy, I know, but we're working with what we have. So let me show you what I do. Let me move these out of the way. First, you need to stamp it. So I am going to use, and I have used a blue that really seriously dyed my stamps, but I'm okay with that. That doesn't really bother me. I'm going to use this one, I believe. I haven't figured out how I'm going to store these stamps. I don't like these little plastic packages that they're in, but I haven't figured out a better way yet. If anybody has any ideas, let me know. I use the Avery Elle pockets for my other stamps, but for some reason I just don't know that they're going to work for these. I mean, I'm sure they would work, but I don't know. Kind of want a special way to store them because I love them. I know this seems stupid, but whatever. Alright, so I just put it on there. And the great thing about these is you can either do this one, which is the solid background with the white letter, or you could do this one, which is this other stamp set where it's the white background with the colored leather. Oh, and I'm sorry, you are going to need to use a bit of washi tape at the end. I'm going to use my re-inker here. You do want to make sure you have a good juicy ink pad. You don't want it like dripping, but you do want it juicy because you want to get a good image. The only thing is that this stamp is extremely long, so you have to make sure you go back and forth pretty well. Okay. Take your paper strip and just stamp it. It doesn't have to be perfect, but the best you can do is always ideal. There we go. do this a couple times. I'm going to do 4 of them for you, because I run them through my sticker maker 4 at a time. Excuse me. Jeez. Probably could use a little bit more ink on this ink pad, but that's okay. Hope this isn't shaking the camera. I apologize if it is. You can see it as it stamps. And one last one. This one is the one that's the full colored background. It's a little bit more difficult to make sure you get this one stamped properly. But again, you can make as many of these as you want, so it's okay if it doesn't come out perfectly, because you can make 15 more. Clean off your stamp. And I'm actually going to do some of the other set too, so you can see those. I hope this is not incredibly boring for you guys, but I do want to show these because I think these are cool. And before Nicole Jones showed these earlier this year, I'd never seen them before. And I think it's a brilliant idea. Alright. I'm actually going to use this one on this one. On both of these stamp sets, I like the middle option, which is this one. I don't know the font, but that one seems a little too small, and I prefer lowercase over uppercase. So I prefer this middle one. These are awesome quality stamps. I don't know if any of you have ever purchased from Papertrey Ink, but I had not. And I am overly impressed, honestly. I don't know what I was expecting, but these are awesome. See, that one doesn't take quite as much effort to make that a pretty good stamp. I have 9 strips here, so I'm just going to go ahead and do the whole thing. Just cut up one 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. And Kalen is asleep in his room, which is right around the corner from me, but he sleeps better when there's a little bit of noise and a little bit of light. Just like any 4-year-old, well, at least I think like any 4-year-old, he's a little bit afraid of the dark, so having the light on in my room, which is in the loft, my craft room, is actually pretty ideal. And it doesn't bother him if I do videos or anything. He likes the noise. And Ernest, his birthday is tomorrow, so he is actually out tonight with some buddies watching football. So I said, perfect timing. I can come up in my craft room. I was cleaning up, had a lot of just paperwork sitting around, cleaning up, and then decided to do this video for you guys. Again, like I said, I hope you enjoy it. If not, let me know. Please be kind, though. Because I just think these are cool. I'm all about making your supplies stretch, not spending a buttload of money on everything, because I could totally do that and have a ton. But just to be smart with your money and make your money stretch. My full-time job is actually at a bank, so I find it quite interesting sometimes, my thought process. I tend to revert to my banking side sometimes, especially when I'm buying a lot of craft supplies, because I feel like, yes, I deserve to spend that much money, but I just can't justify it sometimes. Okay, anyways, off topic here. So I have all my stamps. What I'm going to do, just to conserve my sticker maker, I just cut off the excess because there's no point in running blank paper through here. So I'm just going to trim these down. And probably the trickiest part of this is to line up the die. And if you actually read the instructions, I believe it says cut out the die first and then stamp on top. But I want to add the adhesive to the back, and it's a lot more difficult to, well, not difficult, but a lot more effort to run like a stylus across all the edges. So like if you cut this out first and then run it through the sticker maker, you would have to run a stylus all through here to get the extra adhesive, and I'm just too lazy to do that. So I found some tricks in lining up the die, which I'll share with you, and this has by far been my favorite method. It's a lot quicker, and actually it's a little bit therapeutic to sit here and do this, especially when I'm talking to you guys, because I feel like I'm talking to myself. Okay, so now you have all your paper strips. Now we're going to cut out the dies. Actually, I'm sorry, skipping a step. Now we're going to add the adhesive. So this is my Brother, very dusty Brother sticker maker. And this is 4 years old, 5 years old. Ooh, maybe more like 6 years old. I got it from one of those daily deal sites. It was not a craft daily deal site. It was just a electronic daily deal site, I believe. And this is not electronic, it's totally manual. But it came with a bunch of cartridges, and erroneously they sent me a bunch of sticker maker ones. It was supposed to be laminating ones. So they refunded me all but like $5, which is what the machine I guess cost them. And I kept the 11 cartridges of sticker makers, I think it was 11, that I had. So I found different ways to use them over the years, and I think this is my favorite, and I'll probably end up using all of them on this, but it's okay. So I just line up my paper strips in here, and I'm going to run it through this machine. Now if you have a smaller one, you could do this exactly the same way, just run them through separately. Running them through, and it comes out the back. Cutting it off. I do the same thing to these other ones, and I cut these exactly as I did because I can fit 4 through at the same time. Now I have 9, so I'm just going to run it through anyways. And again, I'm not too worried about conserving the cartridges because I basically got them for free, and I have so many of them. I think I've only used 2 full ones at this point. Alright. So now I have my adhesive back strips, and I'm just going to do that to make sure that they're down. This is a lot better than having to use the stylus and go between each letter. Believe me, I did that until I figured out that this was easier. Okay, pull it off. Jeez. You are going to have a little bit of adhesive sticking around the edges. Not a big deal because you're about to use the die to cut it out, and those edges won't matter. Alright, trim these apart. This is high tech, I know. It's still so cool. I hope you guys enjoy this because as soon as I saw Nicole Jones share this, and I believe she did do a demo while she was on camera. I can't remember. It's been a while ago. As soon as I saw her do this, I was like, oh my god, this is fascinating. Alright, so here's where you're going to need your die. Alright. And let me show you these first because these are easier, honestly, to line up your die. So the die has a slight slant on 2 opposing corners, and so it really helps you line it up. So you could easily see the top and the bottom right there. So just center it here, and then you can tell there's a little bit of that corner sticking out here, and so there's not as much over here, so I can shift it down to make it centered. Okay, let me lift this up so hopefully you can see this. Oops, maybe not. There's just a little bit of that corner sticking out. So in person it's a lot easier to see this. So I just use a bit of washi tape. And funny enough, I actually used up like a whole roll of washi tape doing this the other day. It was not, I didn't use the whole roll, but I used the last little bit that I had. And I just thought it was fascinating that I had actually completed a roll of washi tape. Now I've probably used up 3 or 4 rolls of washi tape in the last couple months just because I've been scrapbooking a lot more and I use washi tape for a lot of things, but it is kind of funny. Sandwich my die in here and then run it through my cuddle bag. This is the only die cutting machine that I have, but I love it. It's been good to me over the years. My plates are not exactly the prettiest, but it's not really about looks. It's more about the end result. Alright, go ahead and pop this off. And there you go. Easily comes out. And aren't they just cute? So excited. And then you just trim them off. They are kind of perforated so you can tear them off, but it's very, very, very easy just to snip it off and remove the backing. So it's got an adhesive backing on the back. Well, here, I'll show you on this one. So it's just like that. It's got the adhesive backing on the back, so it's just like a sticker. It's perfect. Love it. And this is all that you have left. And you can see that the way that the corners are, you can line it up perfectly. It's almost exactly even. Okay, now let me show you how to line this one up, because this, again, is a little bit more difficult. So the easiest way to do this, you have to move your washi tape out of the way. You can definitely reuse it, but you have to move it out of the way so you can see the edges. So there are little ridges on the tops and on the bottoms that show where your centers are. So these ridges are in between the letters. So what I do is I kind of line it up below it, line up my ridges, so I know it's perfectly in the middle of the letters. And then I take a look on the sides, and I just kind of pull it back and see, okay, well, is that center part going to be between the letters? No, this one's not. So I need to move it over just a little bit. And that's a lot more centered. So I tape that down. Look at this side, is it centered? Not exactly. Tape it down, we're good to go. Very easy, it takes a little bit more effort, but very easy. Again, run it through my machine. I always forget there's suction on that whenever the edges are out. I just try to pick it up and it's still stuck. So pull this off. Oops. Okay, for whatever reason that did not cut perfectly. So, oh, I think it was off the edge of the plate. So I'm just going to use my scissors. You can see the indentation of it, so I'm just going to cut the rest of it off. Of course, it's not going to work perfectly when I'm on camera because that would be too good. I've done these. Oh, I probably did 40 of them so far. I've used a lot of them. They're perfect for cards. Just a second, I'll show you a few cards that I made with them. I'm just cutting along the indentation because it was still indented. So, okay. That was my fault. It must have been hanging off the plate a little bit. Alright, so there you go. These are awesome. Love these. Cannot get enough of these. I don't know that I like the black ones as much, but these blue and red ones, oh, they're gorgeous. Love them. So you can see the different fonts, the difference between the fonts. I like this font a lot better, both in the positive and the negative, or the negative and the positive. So, love these. I'm going to continue making them. I seriously cannot get enough of them. And if you look, there's, of course, the alphabet A through Z, and then there's an extra A, 2 extra O's, 2 extra E's, an extra S, a P, and an N. So now I don't quite understand why there's an extra P and not more A's, because I think 3 A's would be better than 3 O's, but okay, so I finished cutting all those out, and aren't they pretty, my little strips here? I will make a few notes though. If you don't have a sticker maker, don't worry, you can cut these out and just do a dab of glue on the back like this Tombow Mono multi-glue. I just like having the adhesive already on there. It just makes it that much easier, but you don't have to do that. Also, I would suggest getting 2 dies. That way you can run multiple ones through your die cutting machine at the same time. Next time I order from them, I am going to order another die. I believe it's only like $5 or $6, so it's really not that bad. So anyways, as I said, I'm going to show you 2 cards, or just different ways I use them. And these are long titles. I used these tile letters that I created. If I had actually used a sticker sheet, I would have run out of something most likely, or at least used most of it up. So this one says, another year has flown by and you are another year older. So these are just 2 birthday cards I made. And so I've got the dies on here, the tile letters, and I just kind of made them a little bit wonky. And then this one says, as you can see, it's the blue ones, says, I hope you have a whale of a birthday. Very simple, but I just like the way they look. They're perfect for long titles. I mean, really perfect. They're awesome. So anyways, that's my video. I hope you like it. Give me a thumbs up if you do. Put any questions in the comment section that you have, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. And then also subscribe so you can see other videos I have upcoming. Thanks, guys.